Michelle.
And I'm Sarah.
Yes, we're your local fitness mommies.
Yes.
Okay, so we decided to start this podcast just because we noticed that in the fitness community, a lot of women are starting to come out and work out, and maybe they've already been there, but I know me and her personally, we barely started our fitness journey, and we know a lot of females that are a little bit scared or intimidated, so we kind of want to make everybody feel welcomed and comfortable. Everybody's welcome to listen. We're going to share our own fitness journey, things we've learned throughout our gym, whatever, fitness journey, and also some fun chisme along the way. Okay, and we'll be doing some Q&A as well. So you want to start with your fitness journey first?
My fitness journey really started pretty much during the pandemic 2 years ago. So when COVID hit, I started working out with my family. At the time, my cousin-in-law was providing like workouts at home for my cousins and my tias and my mom. So we would work out together. That was something that we would look forward to, especially during the pandemic when you were in like lockdown and nothing was open, like the gyms weren't open or anything. We just started working out, and I think it just happened out of like it just kind of happened. I wasn't really focused on like I wanted to lose weight. That wasn't my specific goal at the moment, but as I started working out, that became my goal. So we started working out at one of my tia's house, and then from there we started going into our local park and started doing like outdoor workouts. And little by little, we started buying like dumbbells. So I still have my dumbbells that I purchased during the pandemic, and I don't know if you guys remember this, but gym equipment was so expensive during that time.
Hell yeah.
So I would always like check my local like Target or check like websites to see like if the price was, equal to what it was, or if it was like an amount that I wanted like to spend on. So we would work out either at the park on the weekends or at each other's house, like my cousins. I'm really family oriented, close to my family, so it just became natural. I think a year in, the gym started opening up, so we then went into the gym. My cousin-in-law, she since she was a trainer, she would pretty much like train us in the gym, and so I would go with my cousins at 5 a.m. So I started already with that like schedule, 5 a.m.
Nice.
And hitting the gym. I was not as consistent as I am now, and I was not going heavy, so it was something I was still learning at the time, but I was getting myself exposed to like just like the gym culture, I guess you can say. And I just felt like it was something that I wanted to do, and little by little you start seeing progress, and you just kind of fall in love with the weights and like lifting.
Agreed.
And it just becomes something that you want to do. So it wasn't until I moved out of my mom's house and moved into a different area that I started going to a different gym, and that is where I ran into Michelle. And that is pretty much like this journey that she's seeing of me now is completely different than it was before. So when I started working out on my own, pretty much, I didn't have anyone holding me accountable. It was just pretty much me, and I would show up every day, and it was difficult because I didn't have anyone pushing me, and I was so used to working out in the group. So that's been my journey, and I've met a few people within that time, like Michelle being one of them, and it kind of just like took off, like all of a sudden.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. So that's a glimpse of my journey.
A little foreground, me and Sarah, we've known each other for like since high school.
Yes.
Like when we were younger, we would always hang out. Never would we in a million years think that we would ever reconnect.
No.
We got older, and like we like went our separate ways, and we met up again at the gym. Like it's crazy how the gym like brought us together again. That's pretty cool. And it's crazy how she's like you're saying that you started, or like this all kind of sparked during the pandemic. I feel like the pandemic brought a lot of like career changes or like life-changing things
changes
to everybody, including me. It's kind of like what happened to me too. So a little bit about my journey. Actually, like me before the pandemic, I've kind of always like been active, like into sports, because what's that saying where he goes, contrary to popular belief, I was a little angel at church. I grew up in church, and we would always compete with local churches, and so we would always do like we would always get prepared for volleyball games, all sorts of games, like basketball games, like legit. So like I kind of was always learn how to condition, but it wasn't something that I like never thought I would like be like her, like wake up at 5 a.m. and go to the gym and lift heavy. Like, never. So anyways, I digress. I ended up hiring like personal trainers, and then like a lot of them were just not. I had like, I think 3 or 4. They were either on their phone or they were just like unprofessional, too pricey, and I was like, I'm over it. Like, this is boring. But because of a lot of my cousins and friends that I had, they were into MMA fights. So kind of growing up, I was like into that. And it wasn't until I saw these 2 chicks that you guys probably know, Ronda Rousey and Misha Tate, that I was like, oh, they're not just punching only, like they're freaking breaking limbs. And I was like, and they're females and they can do it. I'm like, this is kind of fun. Like, I kind of want to do this. So literally across my old job, there was a Brazilian jiu-jitsu gym, and it was like perfect for small people and anybody of any size. And I tried it and I fell in love with it, and I never looked back. Basically, my jiu-jitsu journey kind of helped me get back into the fitness world, because unfortunately those personal trainers that I had before kind of like turned me off from it. And then jiu-jitsu kind of brought me back into it, because they kind of teach, they have a little bit of weights there, so they teach you how to condition sometimes before class, and then boom, you do that. So with jiu-jitsu, it's a little bit different, right? Because it's just like bodies, weight that you're pushing, pulling off. So it's a little bit different. It's more like endurance. But then during the pandemic, okay, my job was like lowering the wages. I get it. And then I was like so into jiu-jitsu, and I literally like revolved my whole work schedule, everything around jiu-jitsu, that I was like, maybe I should just go into the fitness industry. And literally I took some NASM courses. So I got my online coaching certification, and I was like, fuck it, I'm going to apply to be a personal trainer, because they're paying way more than what I'm getting paid as an editor right now remotely. So I did. I ended up becoming a group trainer for this little fit body boot camp in Monterey Park. And I was a trainer for 1 year, and I fell in love with like helping people. I was even learning myself, and I'm always constantly learning. And then I would, during lunch, I would go to LA Fitness. So I would go to LA Fitness around 11 a.m., but I would always wake up at 5 a.m. to work out and like teach. So I learned a lot through there, and I just fell in love with it. Like, my whole life was just fitness and then jiu-jitsu, fitness and then jiu-jitsu. Then I got my dream job editing, and then I stopped working there. And I was like, because I had fallen in love with like lifting, like just like, it's just something about it, right? Where like you're told, or you think like, oh, you're a female, like you can't lift that heavy, and then you're like, yeah, I can. And then when you do it, you're just like, it's just this like, it's crazy, huh? Like, you just feel like you accomplished something when you're able to lift something you thought you couldn't. It's not even just like about looks, it's like the feeling of like, oh shit, I can do that shit if I really just try and keep practicing, and I'll get there. And then the best thing is like the cherry on top is like, oh, and I look good too. Like, all right, and not only do I feel good, coming after, but the results really show through. So that's kind of like my gym journey. And because I stopped working there, I was like, okay, now I can go to LA Fitness at 5 a.m. And then I bumped into her. And I was like, oh, Sarah, hey, what? And then we just like, started from there. And we like always wake up at 5 a.m. Although I'm not going to lie, I'm not perfect sometimes because of work or whatever it is. Because of jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu too. They'll be banging me up that I'm like, I'm going to go at 9 a.m. Like, I can't do 5. But yeah, that is how we both fell in love with the journey. And to kind of like transition, I want to talk about this too, you know, working at this Fit Body Bootcamp, and I'm sure you have a lot of female friends too that think the same way. But, you know, a lot of the things that I would get of women coming in to join the gym, they'd be like, oh, you know, I don't want to join a commercial gym like LA Fitness or 24-hour Gold's Gym. You know, they liked coming to the small ones because it was more intimate. But the common theme was like, it's intimidating. I don't know how to do anything. Yeah. What are people gonna say when they look at me? There's people that are stronger than me. They're staring at me. I don't know where to begin. Yeah, exactly. And you know, I think that of course it's gonna be difficult when you start. Even me, when I first started at the gym, I didn't go by myself to a commercial gym, even though I had the jiu-jitsu experience and a personal trainer experience. Like, no, I literally went with somebody. Thankfully, I was blessed to go with somebody that taught me. And then after like 3 months, I was like, okay, like I can do it. Like, even though it was still intimidating.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I think that a lot of people, because of that intimidation, it holds them back. Like they don't, they don't really go against that and fear or intimidation of like, let me just see what happens. Even until now, like I feel like, oh, like, am I doing this wrong? Am I doing this right? Like, like, are people looking at me? Like, what are they thinking? Like, it's a learning process and you're still learning, but you do feel some insecurity. Like I said, like I would go in with my cousin and a friend, or if it wasn't the three of us, it would be like the two of us. So I would always go with someone, but you then start learning that you can't depend on other people for your 100. Own goals. Yeah. Once you start realizing like, this is what I like to do and this is like something for me that I'm doing for myself and it's your personal goal now, you cannot depend on other people. Just like Michelle said, like even herself, like she doesn't go in at 5 a.m. because X, Y, and Z reasons, so I'm not gonna wait for Michelle to go to the gym just so that I can go to the gym. When I see her, it brings me joy because it's like we're like, yes, gym sisters. Yeah, we see each other and we laugh. There's like always like something that's going on like that we're talking about, so it's encouraging, definitely. But you can't depend on other people for your own results. So you start doing for yourself. So it might feel uncomfortable at first, but you get over it little by little. And
something too that I always like tell people is that like obviously like when you walk into the gym and of course you're gonna see like this person right here lifting heavy and this girl and this guy, but you got to remember that like just like you're having a day one, they also had a day one. They didn't just walk into the gym already knowing how to curl and deadlift and squat. Like no, they had a day one too. So you kind of just put yourself in those shoes when you walk in, just be like, you know what, I'll get there. That person had a day one. And imagine if they hadn't started because they felt intimidated, they wouldn't be on their day 300 or whatever day they are in, right? Everyone's on their own journey, focus on you, and most of the time people are not even staring at you at the gym. There's actually some good positive people too sometimes at the gym. We got the gym Theos there. Theos. Hey, shout out to the gym Theos. Y'all better like, subscribe, motherfuckers. All right. So anyways, we call them gym Theos because they are like literally, I have been to the 5 a.m. to the 9 a.m., 12 o'clock, every hour at the gym there. But I gotta say, 5 a.m. when I first started coming, I was like, who are these loud motherfuckers? Like they're just like they're your rowdy. Local rowdy gym Theos, but they're not like creeps. They're not obnoxious. They're just like loud.
They're a little bit obnoxious.
Okay,
they're a little bit obnoxious.
A little bit at first when you don't know them, because they'll be loud like and they're like Spanish, so they'll be like, "Órale eso," and I'm like, am I at an auto shop? Am I?
So it feels like your Theos.
Yeah,
it literally feels like family, like Theos.
You're at your Theo's house or something, and I'm like. So me and Sarah have this joke. Well, it was internal, and now they know.
Now they know.
We would always be like, "Yo, the gym Theos," and then like they overheard us, so they call us sobrinas now.
Yeah.
But they're super cool and encouraging too. Sometimes they'll be like, "One more." Like we don't work out with them, but like they'll see us from afar. Yeah, she does. But even though I don't, like they'll look at me from afar, and then they'll be like, "You got this. One more." And like it's just so encouraging to have that type of culture too. So. That's always welcomed. And like it's kind of like Sarah said earlier, like like it makes me happy to see her, but like again I can't depend on her, right? Like my gains, they're not gonna wait, so I gotta do it myself. And then you learn to love the process too, and it just becomes your me time. You're just there focusing on yourself, reaching your goals. But when I see her, it's encouraging too. So
like she said, the gains are not gonna wait. They will not wait. But I want to add on a little story to the gym Theo. So when I started going to the LA Fitness Monterey Park gym that we go to, I started checking out other gyms before that. I went to like other local ones, and I ended up going to Monterey Park. Once I was becoming like more of a regular, one of the Theos, I guess he started noticing me, and little by little he kind of started talking to me, acknowledging me, saying good morning, all that stuff. So that's how it started off. Like they started just acknowledging you, saying good morning, hi, and then like I appreciate them so much for that, because that's how it starts. Those are like how relationships built. Like that's how they they begin. It's like just by acknowledging. Like I feel like everyone thinks that they need to keep to themselves, or like just because you go in alone, like don't talk to me type of vibe,
energy,
like,
or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like we all are here at the same time, the same place, pretty much every single day, Monday to Friday. And we can at least like acknowledge each other and say, hey, good morning, instead of like passing by each other and not,
having that resting bitch face. Although I'm guilty too. I gotta have it sometimes at 12 or 1 because that is the hour of like, I don't know if these like high schoolers were on summer vacation or what.
Yeah.
But or like the the meme community calls them SARMs goblins. Because literally I texted Sarah the other day because I couldn't make the 5 a.m. nor the 9, so I went at 12. There were literally some guys in football jerseys working out, and I was like, what? Like, how is that comfortable? And aren't you gonna mess up that expensive ass football jersey? Sometimes I'm like, what? Like, you need to go to a boutique gym. What are you doing? Why are you doing that at a commercial gym? Or maybe that's why, because they're at a commercial gym, But it's funny. Mm-hmm. But like she said, yeah, like I understand having that resting bitch face, right? Like, leave me alone. Because like, I'm not gonna lie, I've had some people come up to me where it's just like, this one time this guy, I was deadlifting, and literally I was just wearing gym shorts and like a t-shirt. I usually take off, like how they say, the pump cover. I take off the pump cover when I start sweating, but I hadn't even started sweating. I was like barely starting. And this guy comes up to me and he goes, damn, he goes, that's some heavy weight. And I was like, okay, thanks, whatever. I'm like in my headphones. I can kind of tell when someone's being nice and when someone's like wants something else. And I was like, okay, this guy's like, he wants something else. And he's like, hey, do you have a boyfriend? And I was like, you're so annoying right now in my head. But and then
how does that matter?
Like yeah, I was just like, I'm working out right now. I was like, I'm sorry, I don't have time. Mm-mm. And then he just kind of like looked at me and walked away. And then I felt so bad, and I texted one of my friends, Ryan. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh my God, I feel so bad. I said, he's like, no. He's like, you don't feel bad. Like, you're in the zone. Da-da-da. Deadlifts can take a lot out of you. And I'm like, I don't have time to like, no. But I did feel a little bad. But still, like, he was just like, it was just like in a weird way, Unlike the gym Theos who are like super nice and supportive. They're not like, ¿Tienes novia? Or whatever. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. It's a difference.
I guess we can use this time now to go into like our little gyms, like story crushes, whatever you want to call them, things that come up. A lot
happens. We spend so much time at the gym. Honestly, I want to say, like me personally, in order for me to work out, I have to like get a good workout because I lift heavy, so I'm gonna rest more. 1 hour and 30 minutes minimum to 2 hours, and sometimes 3 if like the machines are taken, because then I have to like navigate. What are you saying? You need how much I spend time at the gym.
Oh, okay.
Like that's me, like 1 hour and 30 minutes to 2 hours.
Yeah.
But wait, quickly before we go into the embarrassing stories, just want to give advice to people also starting out, right? I think a good for me, like advice to give is that before you go to a gym, plan, because I guarantee you that whatever machine you're going to use is probably taken.
It's going to be taken.
And don't be like those people that are waiting, because you're wasting time, right? So honestly, plan. I always plan. I like to have a split personally, where like Mondays I do back and biceps, Tuesdays I do chest and triceps, Wednesdays I do legs, like glutes or quads, and then Thursdays I do shoulders, Fridays I do legs again, but maybe focused on quads or glutes or the other, whatever I didn't work out in. Saturday's usually my rest day, and then I usually have 3 leg days. But recently I'm working on chest, so now I have 2 chest days and 2 leg days. But anyway, that's my split. There's no such thing as a wrong or right split. Whatever works for you. Sarah has a different split as well. But what's yours?
It's actually very similar to yours. Yeah. But so Monday is back, Tuesday is chest, Wednesday is legs. They're highly focused on quads, and then Thursday is shoulders, and then Friday tends to be like a freebie day because I'm not always in the gym on Fridays. So if I am, I will just catch up on anything that I'm like missing in. So it can be another leg day, I can do glutes, or another part of arms like triceps. So that's what my split is. But like Michelle was saying, always go with a plan. I have noticed that about Michelle. Every time I go up to her while I'm talking to her, I see her on her phone and she's like on her notes, and she's like, marking off her workouts. And I'm like, what are you doing? She's like,
I'm a nerd.
She's like, oh, I have a timer for my rest time. And I'm like, oh, shit. I'm like, she's serious. I'm like,
yes,
okay.
because if I don't have a timer, there's been moments where, like, if I don't, especially for chest day, that if I don't time myself right, then I won't get that last rep in, and it fucking bothers me for the rest of the day. So Ryan makes fun of me too. He'll be like, well, did you put the proper rest time? And I'm like, I don't know, I was talking to you. No, but it really does help. So really plan, because when you plan, try to have like a plan B. Okay, if that machine's taken, then I'm gonna do that. Or if you have to wait for a machine, work out still, right? You want to be active.
Yes.
And that's gonna make you feel less intimidated, because you're not gonna go in there going, where do I go? Oh, it's taken. Like, if you go on with the plan, you're much more confident. So that's our advice to you.
Yes. I need to do more of that, more of the planning, because I do work out with some of the Theos and other groups where I work out in the group, and Michelle works out more on her own, or she goes in with a gym partner. But so I'm still kind of, you could say I'm depending on the group, but I'm starting to move a little bit away from that, because I have different goals now. And that's the thing. It's like, your goals are different. It's going to be different for everyone, for different body, gender, whatever the case may be. So I am starting to do a little bit more of my own thing, and I'm noticing that I need to start planning. I need to start kind of going in with an agenda of like, so that means I need to take time out of my day before going to the gym to plan out what am I going to do. And like Michelle said, like, go in with a plan A and B and possibly C, because most of the time the equipment's going to be taken up. And what we're noticing now is that during, different seasons, the gym is going to be a lot more busy than other times. So it just,
It just makes you much more confident and more prepared. But that's our advice. Anyways, getting into the fun stuff, right? Oh my God.
It's time to spill the tea.
Woo! Commercial gyms have a lot of things that happen. Just like there's positive people, there's going to be some, people that are questionable.
Yes.
I want to start out by saying this is my opinion, okay? So, and again, a disclaimer. I don't know if I said this already, but we are not professionals. These are just our opinions. Take everything with a grain of salt, okay?
We're not therapists.
My opinion is don't date a personal trainer. They're a big red flag. Let's paste a big ass red flag right here. They're red flags. I swear to God, I've dated 2 trainers, and then I have friends that are trainers, and I'm like, bitch, you have a girlfriend. Yeah, I'm like, you have a girlfriend, motherfucker. No, but yeah, don't date a trainer. Have you ever dated a trainer?
No, not a trainer.
Don't date one. Okay. Should I start with my first story?
Yeah, you go first with your story, and then I'll go.
Okay, so this person, oh my God, I don't know if I want to say this story. Okay, whatever, fuck it. I'm already healed. I'm healed.
Cheers to that, guys.
Cheers to that. South to sponsor us, by the way. Thank you. Okay, so this guy, he was also younger than me. Okay. He is a trainer, a little bit more experienced than me, and crazy enough, he told me that he was divorced. One of my friends was like, red flag, but I'm like, why? Like, just because the man's, like, I think, like, we're like, I'm going to be 30 this year, right?
I'm 30.
So I'm like, I'm very much more, my checklist is not like, like, I'm very more flexible.
Open-minded.
Like, yeah, I'm like, there we go, open-minded. Like, if they have kids, maybe. I'm like, whatever. So anyway, he was like, yeah, I'm divorced, and I have a car, I've got my own place. And I was like, oh wow, he's so established for being young. I was like, okay, cool, like I'll give it a go, right? So I'm dating this guy. He's super nice, and I have come out of like an 8-year toxic relationship, but I was like already healed after 1 year. So everything this guy did, even though he did the bare minimum, to me it was like, oh my God, he opened the door. Or like, like little things like that. Like things that my friends were like, duh, that's the bare minimum. And I'm like, but to me, like, no one, like, because of what I came from. But whatever. So to me, I was like, oh, he's such a good guy. He's this. Anyway, fast forward, I found out he was cheating on me with one of his clients. Okay. She was sending him pictures, videos that you don't send to your personal trainer. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I know. Anyway, I'm not with that guy anymore, but red flag. So that one, I had only been dating him for like 3 months. So it hurt, obviously, to be lied to, but I got over that one real quick, way quicker than my 8-year one.
Good.
But imagine that, right? So that was one. That was a quick one. Totally over that. I don't know what I saw in him anyway. He was a butterface, no offense. Okay. And a definite, okay, I hate using this word. He was a meathead. You know how they use that word in the gym community? I know that's fucked up, but he was. Anyway. Okay, second one. You know about this one.
Okay.
Beep! We're gonna beep that. Okay, this guy used to be a trainer at our gym. Like a personal trainer. I think he was like a manager. I don't think he's gonna look at this podcast. I hope
Whatever.
Whatever. If you made it, you were an asshole. Okay, this guy was like really hot. I never really go for like super tall guys. He's like 6'3", I think, because I'm short. Everybody's tall to me, so I'm like cap 5'7", 5'8". I'm like, I just feel like being with a tall guy, I'm gonna feel like an object or like a toy. So anyway, this is why I don't like to date tall guys. But anyway, he was an exception because he was so hot.
Okay.
And so he slid into my DMs. We would talk, we would flirt. On his profile, and she's seen it, no pictures of a girl. Nothing.
You would think he's single.
You would think he's single. So I'm like, oh my God, he's so hot. He's flirting with me. Da-da-da-da. Anyway, we would just like lightly flirt, whatever. We would always make eye contact, stare at each other at the gym. And then I have a friend, okay? He's a guy. He's cool. So one day, we were doing leg day together, and we're doing fucking lateral walks with the minivan, and we're like walking across. And I go, oh my God. And I tell him, I go, look. I was like, there's my crush. I was like, he's so hot. And he's like, oh, that's my stepbrother. And I was like, what? And I was like, oh my God. And he goes, and I go, shh, I'm gonna beat this shit. And he goes, and I'm like, stop, you're embarrassing me. Like, I got so red. And he's like, that's my stepbrother. He's like, I think he has a fiance or he has a girlfriend. And I was like, shut the fuck up. I was like, but he doesn't post pictures of her. He's like, I'm pretty sure he does. I'm like, what do you mean you think? Like, this is your stepbrother.
You should know this.
Yeah. And so I confronted him, and he was like, oh, it's complicated, but you're my gym crush, and da-da-da. And so I was like, no. Red flag. Can you believe that? So, this is my don't date gym trainers. That's my story. Apparently, he doesn't work there anymore. Who knows why?
Okay, well, sometimes gym crush should just be a gym crush. Like, you don't, I don't know. It's a gym crush for a reason. Crush for a reason, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm going to tell them about gym stalker.
Oh my God, yes. Okay.
Woo! Okay, so this person, his name is, I don't even know his name. We call him Gym Stalker.
We just call him
Gym Stalker. Between
because
Michelle
his
and I.
IG name, it's like weird, or like I don't even remember what it was.
I think his name is.
Send me those screenshots so I can post them. I am.
So this Gym Stalker was pretty much stalking Michelle first. Michelle sent me screenshots of her DM, and it was this guy sliding in her DMs, like sending fire emojis to her, like
I wouldn't even respond
to her shit. Yeah, and then I guess she noticed at some point where like it was already a thread. It was like he liked a few things, and then he actually wrote her something, and it said something along the lines like, "Hey, I seen you at the gym. Just want to say, oh, I remember this." He's like, "You're a beast." Like that's what he told Michelle. She sends me a screenshot, and she's like, "Do you know who this guy is?" And so it's just funny because this is how her relationship has been. She's like, "What do you think about this person?" No. She'll send me the screenshots, and we do this for each other.
It's just like when you get a DM of like, "Hey, I've seen you," or like, because you're like, "What the fuck?" Like you're working at 5 a.m. You're either on your own, and you don't know that you're being watched. Like what the fuck, you know?
So yeah, so she sends me the screenshot, and then me being, a good friend that I am, and the investigator, I was like, I look at it. I'm trying to zoom in because it's
private, right?
Private. His profile is private. And I try to zoom in on the default photo, and there's a picture there. And so there's a picture. He has 0 posts, no IG posts, and he's following people, and following and followers.
And he doesn't post anything. That's weird.
And 0 posts, and it's I guess
he uses it to
private. Stalk. Exactly, but he has a picture. So I'm like zooming in. I'm like, he doesn't stand out to me. I don't know who he is, but I feel like he can be like any other gym bro. Like he can be any other gym guy. So that was it. And after she had sent me that screenshot, I started noticing him at the gym. And it took me a few...
She texted me. She was like, oh my God, I know who he is. Because we were like, who the fuck is that guy?
Yeah, it took me a few days. I want to say like at least a week in.
She's top notch.
Hire me.
Yeah.
After I told Michelle that I found our gym stalker, or her gym stalker, I was trying to get more information. I'm like, okay, let me see if this guy, is good enough for my Michelle. So I
was already like, no, in my head.
So I kind of was trying to like keep an eye out, like what I can gather from him, like, whatever. And so I guess I was staring a little bit too hard towards his direction, but I thought I was being discreet. I don't know, whatever. So I gathered a few things from Michelle. I was like, kind of red flag. He drinks a Monster. Like, who drinks a Monster nowadays?
That's a red flag. That's a red flag.
He drinks a Monster.
Ding. We're going to put another red
flag. What else
flag.
did I say?
Didn't you say he was in the...
So,
That's
yeah, we can probably beep that out. I told her, I think this is where what he does for, like, his career, because I noticed something. And so I gathered a few things for her. And so as that same day that I was gathering the information, we ended up working out like in the same corner. I was like doing abs and he was like doing dips like right next to me. And so I wasn't really like making eye contact with him. I was like doing my own thing, like in the zone, whatever. That was it. So that same day, after I finished my workout, go back home. I'm home and, going about my day. And then I get an IG notification and I check. And it's like someone trying to message me. And I'm like...
That motherfucker found her. Isn't that weird?
I see that he messaged me. He's trying to slide into my DMs. And I have a friend request from him. And I'm like, what the heck? So I already know who he is because Michelle sent me like the information. So I already know who he is. And I'm like, what the fuck? So
like, how did he find us is the question, right?
That's creepy. Right. That's a creepy part. So I didn't open up the message. I just saw his friend request and I immediately took a screenshot and I messaged Michelle and I'm like, dude, guess what? And I sent her the screenshot and she was like, what the fuck? And so pretty much Michelle, he was her gym stalker first and then came off. She pawned him off to me. So I was like, dude, what the heck? This is so creepy. Like, I get that he kind of like started following you first, whatever that was.
That's what she gets for being my FBI.
But I was like, but how did he find me? Like, he doesn't know my name. I never like talked to him. I never introduced myself to him. Like, he knows nothing about me other than that I go to that gym. And so I was like, I had so many questions. I was like, this is creepy. I was like, what the fuck? So it took me about an hour to finally open up the message. And I decided to open it up because I was like, I'm a big girl. I can handle these situations. Yeah. I'm a big girl. Whatever. And I can't just assume that he's like trying to get at me or whatever the case may be. So I was like, whatever, let me open it up. So I opened up the message and what did it say? He was just like, he said like, hey, he was like, hey,
it always starts like minimal and soft. It's like a little soft entry like, hey, I see you working out or I see you putting in the work, right? Like some shit. I don't know. Oh, you have it? Okay.
I have the receipts. So he said, hey, you, I see you at the gym and I want to say keep killing it. And I was like, okay. Like, right, and I was like, all right, that's nice. That's motivating. I'm going to take it as like he's just being nice, right? I can assume. So I was kind of like, okay. So I responded back and I said, hey, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I was like, how did you find my profile? So I went directly to it. I didn't, directly ask him, how did you find my profile? He said, I follow one of your friends and you popped up. So I was like, hey, that's that girl at the gym. And I was like, okay. I was like, oh, that makes sense.
I love how she confronted him. How did you find me, bitch?
I was like, okay, that makes sense. And I was like, oh, okay, I see. Well, I said, well, nice to meet you. And after that, he said, I wanted to go up to you, but I was like, nah, she won't acknowledge me, LOL. And again, that's where I was like, oh, yeah, that's kind of true because the resting bitch face. I was like, So I said...
RBF.
Yeah, I said, haha, I can look serious at times, but don't hesitate to approach. Like, just come say hi, And then he responded saying, I was like, damn, this girl is in the zone, LOL. Maybe tomorrow I'll go up to you. That was it, end of conversation. So I just liked it. And I was, I'm just going to end it there. I'm not going to keep this going. I think like an hour in, he messages me again. He's like, since I don't have a picture, I'm the guy who was doing dips and push-ups next to you while you were doing abs.
Cringe.
LOL.
Like, no one asked. I didn't ask. Oh, I'm sorry if I sound mean, but it's just like, no.
So I was like, yeah, sure, like whatever. That same day, and I remember that this day clearly, I was hanging out with my friend, and it was already like 8 p.m. We're out having a good time. He randomly just messages me out of the blue, saying, "What are you doing?" WYD.
Oh my God, that is city boy, city boy language. WYD. What are you doing? Like,
little blushy face. What are you doing? I'm like, what?
Ew,
the fuck?
blushy face.
So I get the notification, and I'm looking at it through my phone, and I tell my friend, I'm like, dude, what the fuck? And I was filling him in on the gossip, and I was like, no, this is annoying. Like, what are you doing? Like, who do you think you are asking me what I'm doing?
Well,
like,
especially
directly.
when it's abbreviated. WYD. That's city boy.
It's
city boy language.
City boy, dude. He could have been
City
like,
boy.
hey, like, I don't know. But it's like, what are you doing? I felt I was annoyed. And then he sends me his phone number. I did not respond back to that.
Oh my
He sends
God.
me his phone number. And he says, text me. What? No. I know nothing about you. How am I going to, like, just text you?
This is why I don't respond. And people are like, you're so mean. I'm like, because I could just, it's going to happen like this. And it's like, you give them an inch and they go miles.
They go
with
miles.
It's crazy.
So I did not respond to that. I didn't acknowledge it. Nothing. I left him on red. That was it. A few days later, I posted on my story, and he responded to my story saying, TFTI. And again, I was like, who do you think you are, homie? Like, who do you think you are talking to me like that?
Like, I'm sorry, we just met.
Exactly. Again, no acknowledgement, left him on red. And then the next message that I had from him was the day that I actually saw him at the gym. And this is after leaving him on red, not acknowledging him, and we're back at the gym.
Persistent, you gotta give him that.
Be persistent.
Be persistent.
We're back at the gym, and I see him, and I'm like, whatever, dude. Like, I'm just gonna do my own thing. I was about to leave. I was about to walk out, and he was near the exit, and so I had to, like, cross him. And I was like, okay, again, I'm gonna put on my big girl pants, and I'm not gonna hide from this person. I'm gonna, like, there's something for me to hide or be embarrassed about or be shy, whatever you want to call it. So I was like, I'm just gonna walk through. So I walk through, we make eye contact, and we kind of look down, and we make eye contact again. So I was kind of like just acknowledged by like a smile, like, hi, uh-huh. That was it.
She's nice.
I guess I'm too nice.
I mean.
And that was it. I didn't stop to talk to him, acknowledge him. He said hi. That was it. He messages me saying, like, once I got home, saying, hey, you. Dude, and I was just like, okay, I need to nip this in the butt. So I responded back and I said, morning. Not good morning, nothing, just
no emojis, just morning.
He said, I wanted to go up to you, but I was nervous. But when you said bye to me, it melted my heart. LOL.
Ew.
It melted my heart.
Making up shit in his head.
So, I don't know about you, but when you say, like, you melted my heart, like,
come on,
that's like you're kind of flirting there.
Yeah.
You're like insinuating that there's something.
And he doesn't get the hint. Like, she's not responding. She's not, like, come on.
So I was like, okay.
I love that Sarah's direct right here.
So I was like, I need to just, be direct. Exactly. So I said, hey, I'm going to be very transparent here. You're coming off strong. I don't know you other than we go to the same gym. Therefore, I don't know what your intentions are. I'm just trying to be clear as possible, and I don't mind us being cordial or being gym friends. He responded back saying, hey, I totally understand where you're coming from. I have no intention on trying anything with you, TBH, to be honest. Okay. And I just said, I didn't really buy that. So I just said, thank you for understanding. That's it. I'm not going to continue. I'm not going to entertain this. He said, anytime, yeah, trust me, I'm not like that.
Whenever a guy says, trust me, I'm not like that, city boy! City boy, city boy!
I liked it, left like that. That was it. I think he's messaging me saying, what are you doing?
What you doing?
What you doing again? And then he told me, he's like, I'm so and so, by the way. Like, gave me his name.
After
that was
weeks, he gave, by the way, or beep.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you doing? He sent another WYD. Like, come on.
So that's gym stalker.
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys know what city boy means.
Yes.
So
please define city
let's
boy.
define that. I'll also enter the little clip.
City boy, city boy.
Basically, it's like slang in the community, the Gen Z and millennial community, what have you, or whatever. So basically, a city boy is a guy that is, how would you describe it? A fuckboy. He's basically a fuckboy.
This is your word, so you
okay.
Please,
so
take
he's
over.
basically a fuckboy. Basically, so I don't know if you guys follow this meme page called City Boy, but that's what they do. They just post memes of guys being dicks to girls. Like, actually, let me see if Urban Dictionary has a better definition than I'm slaughtering it. City Boy define.
City boy.
City boy, city boy.
So ever since Michelle,
a male who is living his a male who is living his very best life and chasing the bag at all times without letting hot girls or any female get in the way. City boy. And then there's this like GIF, I'll show it. That's why I say it like that. So anytime like we talk about a guy and like there's red flags, I'm like city boy, city boy, city boy, city boy. But that is why I use that word all the time. But yeah, basically that's that. So I mean that's gonna happen, right? Being at the gym for so long, you're gonna encounter the toxicos, but then you're gonna also encounter the cool people like the gym Theos, and it is what it is. I actually have another story from the gym. So this guy, actually, he always goes to LA Fitness, and he goes at 9:30. I really don't like to go at 9:30 for this reason, but look, he's not ugly. He's good looking. Like, he's like nice, like he has that nice tan chocolate skin. He looks mixed, I don't know, and he's very muscular. Like, he's just like good looking, but he's a little odd. I don't know, something's off. You can just tell. This is the guy that always brings his like speaker. I swear to God. So the first time, okay, I was like doing lat raises, and then all of a sudden I hear J. Cole, but like the commercial gym was playing like some other bullshit, and then I just hear like some J. Cole come out like in the little speaker, like, you know, the typical song, and I'm like, I turn around and it's like him doing incline chest, all happy with the speaker, and I'm like, dang, like I'm trying to hear my own music in my AirPods. Like, now I gotta battle with these two fucking music. Anyway, so that was that, and he would always kind of like nod, smile, and I'm nice. I can be nice, so I just smile back, but that's it. I smile and then I do my own thing because I'm like, leave me alone. Like, that's it, right? Okay, so that's that. Then this one day, I'm doing, what was I doing? Oh, I was doing back. It was back for me. It was back and biceps. So I'm doing lat pull downs, but I only had the rope, and I bring my own rope because that gym, for whatever reason, like, they don't have the stuff out like other gyms do. You have to go put your keys and borrow one. So I'm like, whatever, I had my own rope. So I'm doing fucking lat pull downs, right? And then this guy, that same guy, this is like on a different day. This is why people are like, why don't you smile? This is why I don't smile. Give an inch and they go for miles. So I'm like right there, and then he's like pacing around me, and I'm like, ugh. The thing that bothered me was that I was still going, and he was talking to me while I was going, and I'm like on my last 2 reps dying, and he's like, hey, do you mind if I can jump in with you? And I'm like on my last rep, and I was like, don't be mean, Michelle. And I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm working back. He's like, that's fine. He's like, I just want to do some triceps. So I said yes. I know.
You said no.
I know, but like then I'm gonna be a bitch, you know? So whatever, I said yes. So then he starts going and he's doing it, but I'm not really talking to him, you know? I'm just like doing my
Michelle's like this.
Yeah, for real. I was just like this, waiting for my turn. Then I go, and then like I'm like on my 3rd set, and then as I'm going, it's like fucking heavy, and I'm like,
What?
This motherfucker like increased the weight. He's like, you can do it. You can do it. I was like, I know where I'm at. I can't. And then my form starts being ugly. And he's like, oh. I was like, yeah, oh. I was like, because I know where I'm at, little homie. Like, And then I was like, yeah, I'm done here. And he's like, okay. And I just grabbed
it's my rope. I'm
and
taking my rope.
and I walk away. And after that, he never bothered me again. But I was like, what the hell? Like, I don't even know you. And then like, yeah, like seriously, like no. Sometimes it's too much. Like I'm just like no, like. So yeah, but dude, it's that guy that always brings that boombox. Who does that? What are we in the 90s? Like
she told me about him, and I think one day we were at the gym and we were there a little bit longer than usual. He came in like before 9:00, and she pointed him out to me, and I saw him, and I can say I witnessed a man with a boombox at the gym.
At a commercial gym. Yeah. Only at LA Fitness, yo. But yeah, so we're kind of reaching the end. We want to do this thing where at the end we'll do a Q&A. So if you guys have any questions, whether it's about if you need gym tips or advice, or if you want to share a story, or if you need relationship advice, whatever it is, we're not experts, but we're down to give you our opinion.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to share or ask me or Sarah or both of us, DM us at the Instagram page that I'm going to put right here. And then on the next episode, we'll feature you. Also, let us know if you want to stay anonymous or if you want us to put your handle on there. Okay, so do that. Okay, we'll be taking those DMs, those submissions, and we'll answer them by the next episode. Okay, don't forget to like, subscribe on our YouTube page, follow us on Instagram, and stay tuned for the next episode. And then anything else that we want to say?
No, we're just getting started. So please just, like and support. This is just kind of for fun. And it's something creative to do that we're working on together. So yeah, like Michelle said, if you guys have any questions or anything you guys want to share.
Wait, I wanted to say, what is your favorite part of the body to work out?
Oof. It's changed over time.
Mine has changed too.
Yeah. I think at first I would say it was like legs, and like I was like obsessed. I was like, I need to hit legs like 3 times a week, and I was like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I was like, and little by little that has started to change. Now it's shoulders. Yeah. And I think exactly. And it's like just because like I'm seeing the definition and like you're seeing the the progress that you're like, oh shit. And I was like, and shoulders is kind of sexy. I like it. So I would say shoulders. Right now, shoulders.
For me, it's the same thing. I started leg, like I think every girl, right? Like legs. But then right now my current is back. I just feel like there's something about the back that's just so sexy, and working the back gives you that hourglass finish. And like one time this guy that I thought was cute was like, you got a demon back. And I was like, clean up on aisle 5. Thank you so much. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so let us know what your favorite part of the body is to work out. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. We're gonna have more content. It's gonna get better with each episode. We promise. We're gonna give you more tips. Again, take it with a grain of salt. We're also starting out on our gym journey. Do it with us. Go to the gym. I hope we inspire you guys to go to the gym. And again, if you have any questions, just DM us and let us know. So again, don't forget to like, subscribe on our YouTube page, please, and our Instagram page. And stay tuned for more of that. Muscle.
Mami.
Hey.